You've been lied to. Waking up at 4 a.m. doesn't make you a success. It makes you a zombie. You're chugging coffee, dragging yourself to the gym, and grinding through a to-do list longer than a CVS receipt, all because some influencer swore it's the secret to crushing life. But here's the truth. You're not thriving. You're surviving. And deep down, you know it. What if the real secret to success isn't your alarm clock? What if it's something ancient, something the Stoics knew 2,000 years ago? Stick around, because this video might just save you from burnout and change how you live forever. You're 27, and you're living the dream, or so you thought. You're a graphic designer with a side hustle, a packed Google Calendar, and a vision board screaming, "Hustle hard." You read the 5 a.m. Club, watched every productivity guru on YouTube, and decided 4 a.m. is your ticket to the top. So you set your alarm, ditch late-night Netflix, and dive in. You're up before the sun, meditating, journaling, hitting the gym, and answering emails by 6 a.m. You feel like a machine, a success machine. Friends call you inspiring. Instagram loves your rise and grind posts. For a month, you're unstoppable. But then the cracks appear. Your eyes are bloodshot. Your coffee's now in 4-drip. You snap at your best friend over a text. Deadlines pile up, and your designs start feeling flat, uninspired. You're sleeping 5 hours, max, and your body's screaming for a break, but you can't stop. Stopping means failing, right? You're trapped in a cycle. Wake at 4 a.m., grind, crash, repeat. You're not living. You're a robot programmed by someone else's idea of success. By month 3, you're done. You miss a client deadline. Your side hustle stalls, and you're crying in your car outside the gym at 5 a.m., wondering, why am I doing this? You're burned out, exhausted, and farther from your goals than ever. The 4 a.m. Club didn't make you a winner, it broke you. You're not alone. You've been sold a lie that waking up early equals success, but it's left you empty. And that's when you stumble on a book that flips everything. Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. It's not about the time you wake up. It's about the person you are when you're awake. You're sitting on your couch, defeated, flipping through meditations, and Marcus Aurelius hits you with this. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? You pause. This isn't about dragging yourself up at 4 a.m. It's about purpose. Marcus, a Roman emperor ruling through wars, plagues, and betrayals, didn't obsess over alarm clocks. He focused on what he could control, his mind, his actions, his character. Stoicism, born in ancient Greece and honed in Rome, isn't about hacking your life with morning routines or productivity apps. It's about mastering yourself in a world you can't control. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, 3 Stoic giants, faced chaos daily, yet they found peace. Epictetus, a former slave, said, There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Seneca, a statesman navigating Nero's madness, wrote, We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. These men didn't chase hustle, they chased clarity. You're living in 2025, drowning in notifications, FOMO, and TikTok gurus shouting, Wake up early, or you're a loser. Your world's different, but the pressure's the same. Stoicism holds a mirror to your 4 a.m. grind, asking, Are you controlling your life, or is it controlling you? You thought waking up early was discipline, but now you're wondering if it's just another trap. Why waking up early and hustle culture missed the mark? Let's break it down. You bought into the 4 a.m. myth because it promised success. Elon Musk brags about 100-hour workweeks. Instagram's flooded with hashtag morning routine posts. Society screams, grind harder, wake earlier, do more. But here's the problem. Hustle culture's a house of cards. It's not about success. It's about looking successful. And it's killing you. First, waking up at 4 a.m. doesn't guarantee results. You're up early, sure, but are you focused? Productive? Happy? Studies show sleep deprivation, anything less than 7 to 8 hours, tanks your creativity, decision-making, and health. You're not sharper at 4 a.m., you're sluggish by noon. A 2019 study in sleep medicine linked chronic sleep loss to burnout and depression. You felt it. Those days you dragged through, your designs flat, your temper short. The early wake-up wasn't making you better. it was making you worse. Second, hustle culture worships busyness, not progress. You filled your mornings with tasks, gym, meditation, emails, but were they moving the needle? Or were you just checking boxes to feel productive? Stoics like Seneca would call this out. He wrote, "It is not that we have little time to live, but that we waste a good deal of it." You're wasting time when you're chasing someone else's routine instead of building your own. Your 4 a.m. gym session's meaningless if it's just a status symbol. Third, toxic productivity is anti-human. You're not a machine. You're a person with limits, emotions, and dreams. Hustle culture ignores this, pushing you to override your body's signals. You ignored your exhaustion, your stress, your need for rest, because winners don't afford to be weak. But weakness isn't resting. It's pretending you don't need to. Epictetus said, "You are not your body or your reputation, but your choices." You chose to grind, thinking it'd make you free, but it chained you to a cycle of burnout. Finally, the 4 a.m. myth ties success to a clock, not your character. You woke up early, but did you act with integrity? Did you treat people kindly? Did you grow as a person? Society's obsessed with external markers, money, followers, hustle badges. But Stoicism says success is internal. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." You were so busy rising early, you forgot to rise as a better human. Hustle culture sold you a lie. If you wake up at 4 a.m., you'll win. But you didn't. You burned out, lost your spark, and wondered why you still felt empty. The problem wasn't your wake-up time, it was your mindset. Stoicism offers a way out, not by changing your alarm, but by changing you. What Stoicism teaches about time, moderation, and true discipline. So, if waking up at 4 a.m. isn't the answer, what is? Stoicism doesn't give you a one-size-fits-all routine. It gives you principles to live by. You're not here to conquer time. You're here to master yourself. Let's dive into what Stoics teach about time, moderation, and true discipline. Time. It's not about when, but how. You've been taught to race against the clock. Wake early. Pack your day. Never stop. But Stoics see time differently. Seneca wrote, "Life is long if you know how to use it." It's not about cramming more hours into your day. It's about making each hour count. You could wake at 4 a.m. and waste your morning scrolling X, or wake at 8 a.m. and create something meaningful. The Stoics ask, are you present? Are you intentional? You don't need to steal hours from sleep to live well. Just use the hours you have wisely. Moderation, the path to balance. Hustle culture glorifies extremes, 100-hour weeks, for AM alarms, no days off. Stoicism preaches moderation. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do less, but do it better." You don't need to do everything, just the right things. You burned out because you tried to be everywhere at once. Gym, work, side hustle, social media. Stoicism says, simplify. Focus on what aligns with your purpose. Rest isn't laziness, it's strategy. You're stronger when you're balanced, not when you're broken. True discipline. Control your mind, not your alarm. You thought discipline was waking up early, no matter how tired you were. Stoics disagree. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True discipline isn't forcing your body to obey a clock. It's training your mind to choose wisely. You're disciplined when you say no to distractions, when you act with integrity under pressure, when you rest without guilt. You don't need a 4 a.m. alarm to prove your worth. You prove it by living with intention, whether you wake at 4 or 9. Stoicism flips the script. You don't need to hustle harder. You need to live smarter. You don't need to control time. You need to control yourself. You're not chasing success out there, in some perfect morning routine. Success is in here, in your mind, in your choices. That's the Stoic way. Master yourself before you try to control time. You're starting to see it now, aren't you? The 4 a.m. grind was a trap because it put the clock in charge, not you. Stoicism's deepest lesson is this. Master yourself before you try to control time. Success isn't an alarm clock, it's inner. It's who you are when the world's screaming at you to do more, be more, hustle more. You burned out because you let external rules define you. The Stoics say, stop, look inward. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. You can't control the economy, your boss's mood, or what X thinks of your posts. but you can control your thoughts, your actions, your character. That's where success lives, not in a 4 a.m. wake up, but in a mind that's clear, a heart that's steady, a soul that's free. You've been chasing the wrong clock. You thought waking early would make you successful, but success isn't measured by hours, it's measured by purpose. Are you living for you, or for someone else's idea of you? Are you grinding to grow, or to prove something? Stoicism says, be the master of your mind, and time will bend to you. Wake at 4 a.m. if it serves your purpose, not because a guru told you to. Sleep till 8 if it makes you stronger. Success is inner, not a timestamp. Time doesn't define you, you do. You're standing at a crossroads. You could keep chasing the 4 a.m. myth, grinding yourself into dust, hoping one day you'll feel enough. Or you could choose the Stoic path, mastering yourself, living with intention, finding peace in a world that never stops shouting. The truth is, what time you wake up isn't as important as how mindful you are. You don't need to conquer the clock to conquer your life. You need to conquer you. Imagine waking up tomorrow, not at 4 a.m., not at any specific time, but with a clear mind. You choose one thing that matters, and you do it well. You say no to distractions, to pressure, to the hustle trap. You rest without guilt, work with purpose, live with courage. That's success. That's freedom. Marcus Aurelius said, if you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them. And it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now. You're not a slave to time, to hustle, to anyone's expectations. You're a Stoic, and your power is within. So here's your challenge. Stop the 4 a.m. grind for 1 week. Wake up when your body's ready, but live with intention. Journal for 5 minutes. What's one thing you can control today? Say no to one distraction. Rest without shame. Be present, not perfect. If this video woke you up, not at 4 a.m., but to a better way, hit that like button, share it with someone trapped in the hustle, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom to live smarter, not harder. Comment below, what's one way you'll master yourself today? Let's build a community of mindful warriors, not robots. The clock doesn't define you, you do. Let's live like Stoics, starting now.